what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
I don't trust no algos, I ain't got no profits, well, I saw a golden signal, but I'd let it slip on by. If I could grab that breakout and that whale's wind that I've traced, well, I'd rub my lucky token and I'd curse the market's pace. Well, I really wanna know what I really wanna know. What I really wanna say, the charts won't sing. Well, it's fate that I need. Oh, my stash will have to wait till I get back to find a spike of my own. Stars are gonna lift one and all. I feel the fade, feel the fade, feel the fade, and I got to hex it up. Oh yeah, well, I swear that what I really wanna know, what I really wanna say, the charts won't sing. Got lanterns, make them swing. My stash will have to. What I really wanna say, what I really wanna say is I've got mine, and I'll jinx it. Oh yes, I'm going up. Tell that bot now that if it snipes my play again, it best dodge Jupiter's cruel spin. I've got a quart shard and hot wax, and I won't think twice to drip that candle straight on ticker's pulse. Believe me when I say that I got something for it. Auto run pulse. What I really wanna know, ooh, what I really wanna say is there's just one way up, and I'll chase it, yeah. My stash will have to wait, yeah. In the dead of night, I'm staring at the screen. Flickering candlesticks, it's a neon dream. Voices whispering trades I shouldn't make. Fevered fantasies are just another mistake. Confidence, they say, buy high, hold tight. Far too late when the market takes a flight. Whispers twist my nerves, I'm falling for the bait, ending up with losses at an alarming rate. Voices in my head make me buy when I should sell. Euphoria and dread, it's a roller coaster spell. Whispering doubt makes me break my golden rule. I'm just dancing with my demons, acting like a fool. Voices screaming in my head, shut the hell up, please shut the hell up. Stress and panic tug me from side to side. One day a king, next day I run and hide. Self-doubt marks me on the edge of the drop. My faith in numbers sways until it finally stops. One minute they're shouting about the moon. Next moment despair hits, it's over too soon. Paralyzed by fear, profits slipping away. Caught in this constant battle.
Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the turkey. The turkey. Why does it sound so funny? It don't sound right in my ears. Please shut the hell up. You ain't gonna make them wait for the turkey song, are you? That's too long. Don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it still don't sound right. Check, check, 1 2. Yeah, you put your mouth right on it. That's what she said. Check, check. Like that. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to rumble. What's this song? Yeah?
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, and now we go from that to dance. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to stream Late Night Crypto Road Talk. So glad to have you here. Gotta make sure I'm being heard all right. Can you guys hear me okay? For some reason, it just sounds very different in my ears. It's throwing me off just a little bit. We'll just crank you up a little bit. How's that? Nope, that does not help at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, rather than me sitting here fooling around with my sound system, let's look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. Today's been a boring day. Let's just call it for what it is. It's been a dull week, but that's better than it being scaring us out of our asses and making us think crazy things and going down and, you know, tanking our portfolios. Even though, you know, they're still kind of pretty much tanked, right? Right? If I'm being honest, like I'm looking at my altcoins today, I'm like, spot margin plays, I'm just like, oh geez, man. It's like, why even happened? Looking at my spot bags, and I'm like, there's only one that's been good in my spot bags, and that's been XCN, and even she's on a down climb, but man, this one's always a lesson at just the right times, it seems like. This little guy, XCN Onyx coin, I don't know, what do we got on here? More please. Yeah, if she can get down to 0.1249 cents or 0.16, if we can get down to about 1.2 pennies, 1.5 pennies, something like that, I would love to have some more of this. I think it's coming. She just slow in doing it. The reason that I will suggest that it will eventually drop, well, she had a nice big run up. She's holding a nice area. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me twisted. But the 800, 600, 300 moving averages, I mean, there's some nice crosses going on down here at the 200 and all that, but even your 200 is down here about, you know, 1.2 cents. Suggest that we might pop back down here for a little visit or so. That's just what I see. Doesn't have to be what you see, but that's just kind of what, you know, I think would happen. But she did really good hitting our target up here at 1.028 cents and took him some profits there. I'm hoping maybe we can get up to 0.033 cents on that little guy. That would be cool. I would not bitch about that. That would be awesome. But if you come down to this area, I would like some more, please. Right down here. If I could get you cheaper, I will. Got a few little limit orders setting in there. But why are you hanging so tight right now, honey? Yeah, you're below. Yeah, you're on the 0.5. You're betwixt the 0.5 and the 382 Fibonacci. Right? That's interesting. I don't usually. Can't say that I can recall seeing that too much. I recall seeing a lot of things come back and then hold that 382 area. This one's not done it yet. Makes me think we might be a dipping down. Just a dipping. Down here, the 618 area, 786 area is where I really kind of see that we might come back to. But for right now, you know, that's a nice little thing. I'm entertaining a thought here. That I find to be very interesting. Can you do that? I mean, can you keep that? I mean, excuse me while I play around with a few little trend lines. Oh, was that by accident, or are you by accident? You're the one by accident, aren't you? Sitting here playing around with some angles, because I like to do that. The angles, if you peep them out, they will open your eyes to a lot of things. That's from WD Gann. He was kind of big on angles, and even certain angles, 60 degree, 45 degree, that kind of thing. But there's repeatable angles in these charts. If you haven't figured it out, price travels in a channel. You just got to figure out the angles and find that channel. Could this be a bull flag to the upside? I know a lot of people would like to see that. We're at a pretty interesting level, but I still see the possibility of us coming down through here. Moving averages do suggest that we will come back down to these areas, but there's also an argument to be made that we might. And maybe we could go up and do a double top and do a little Batman, but this is all speculative right now before we come down here. But anyway, this has been a nice one. She went up, and buying here is going to be a little risky because she said, I want to get in on it. And then she drops 30%, and you're like, you suck, road dog. I'm like, no, I told you to wait, man. Don't wait for it. Better to buy it when she's 35% down, and then she come back up and make a 62% gain right back to where she was. But that's if that happens. We have this other coin that everybody's talking about now, OM. Look, is that a stiletto hill? That looks crazy. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Well, that's kind of interesting. I think I'm looking for something. Yeah. That looks awful similar. And all this really is, what we don't want it to be, it's just a falling wedge or something of this nature that maybe we can get a bounce off of and reclaim some of these areas. But wow, it's looking a little lackluster there. Can't even get above the non-moving average here on the 2 hour. We are above it on the 1 hour, so there's a little bit of hopium, but our high heel stiletto heel is starting to look a little bit more kind of weird, flattening out, starting to look like one of those, like an Aladdin shoe or something. So Onyx coin, interesting little procession of events there. One of you guys, Kelly, you got it from here to up here. That was great. That was awesome, and you got out. You took profits on that. Congratulations to you, because this little sucker gave it a whole bag, didn't it? And so she was hanging around 70 cents for the longest, and looked like maybe she could. You could even say that it was starting to look like an Adam and Eve. I wasn't looking at that, but that would have been a valid idea had she went up there. Unfortunately, she didn't. She decided, I'm going to drop some more because I haven't created enough pain in people. So if you have this coin, if this was because this was one of my winners in the market. I'm glad that I pulled things off of it. Now I was bitching at myself for not giving it a chance to build up to a bigger bag. I kept taking some off, but now I don't feel bad about that at all. Should have took off more. I was trying to de-risk and hoping that she would go up, but she came down before she went up to get me out. But I was trying to level off on a lot of that. But you never know when these things are going to happen, and it sucked that it happened, and it cost me some loss. But in the bigger picture of the thing, I'm ahead a little bit, or break even at the most if you can consider everything's said and done. She's back down at 60 cents, but let's just talk about the realistic. Some people are like, does he have another chance because they're saying the protocol is still good, blah blah blah. I'm going to say, this will probably become a trader coin, kind of like Terra Luna. and maybe she can do some stuff. But I think the days of seeing her back around $9, I think that's probably over for this one. Once coin has done you dirty, a general good rule is to stay a hell away from that coin, because even with the best of intentions, nothing happens to them. We take a look at, I think it's ALBT. Is that it? Are you not a thing anymore? This is one that I was in before. Alliance Blockchain. Or Alliance Block. Oh, it became Nixera. Are you not a thing anymore? You're not a thing anymore. Oh man, that's it. It became an XRA. Well, you're still on KuCoin MXC and you're on COINEX. So this is one, and this guy, it was Alliance Blockchain before, and she traded like a dollar, almost $2. I think it was kind of down and around 150. It's oh man, it's down. They never, when's it ever going to go back up, man? And then they had a hack or an exploit, and it's never. It got back up to 27 cents. Woohoo! That was last year. And so if you caught it, I guess, if you caught it here, half a penny. But I mean, remember, it was like $1, $2, $1.80, $1.50 right before she fell to these areas, and they redid it and everything. There was some gains for anybody coming in for the new play, but even now it's down lower. It never was what it was before after an exploit on most of these tokens. And if you take a look at Luna, she's still out there. She ain't $120 no more. When was this? Yeah, that was before the fall. Luna, you think it's going back? That's the one that crashed the whole market there, sent Bitcoin tanking even further in the bear market. Just really unwound the whole crypto space, which I guess needed to happen. But how's it been doing? In December, when all the other altcoins were doing good, it got up to 77 cents. I guess that's something. I mean, it'd been 40 cents, got up to what, $1.53? I thought, did you really? So a year ago, in February, it got up to $1.40. Well, I guess that's why so many people were talking about it back then. But now she's sitting at 15 cents. And, once these things happen, is that a stiletto hill? It's best to just kind of get your mind wrapped around it that it probably is not going to snap back on us. Even though I like to think that, man, looks like this non-moving average on this weekly, we could snap back to it. I would love to be wrong on that. I really would. And who knows, maybe there can be a little something coming up, but I wouldn't put my hopes up into it. There would probably be some nice little trades there, as a lot of degens will probably look at this one to trade it. That's just what happens. Ichimoku Cloud over here is kind of hinting that maybe $3 could get hit, but I wouldn't expect it to stick. If this one can make a big comeback, I would be very I'd be very, very shocked. That would be an anomaly in this space. That's all I'm trying to get out. Just let's be realistic about what we're in there, or if we're playing it, whether you should hold on to it. 18 people hanging out with me. How's it going? Let me say hello to everybody. We got Strega. What's up, Strega? My OG right there. The very first mod. Strega has all the power. We got Duality C. Port PC Guy, Answer Me, Tommy 2 Leaders, Hulin Alegria, Strong Short So, 505 Colt, F yeah, Road Dog, woohoo, British on Parade, Glittering Marshmallow, Turkey, Chief and Keef, I like XEN too. Bush on Parade, OM looks like the bottom on Linda C after it collapsed. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Floki's Angels, what's going on? Locust Angel says, hey, we're back. Chris Klein says, hi. Hey, Chris. The Dusty Hunt. that almost came out of my mouth wrong. There's Sid. How's it going, Sid? Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, Joe? I thought today was at 11:30 p.m. I don't know. My day feels off, just to be honest with you. I don't know how long this stream will go. We got 21 people hanging out, 20 minutes into it, and we're still in a good place. Haven't even got to Bitcoin yet. We've been looking at small coins. Oklahoma. Oh, well, I was going to push my people to you, but you're live now. Oh, I'm here. Oh, you thought it was 11:30? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if this little button's working. Are you working, little button? Nope, of course you're not. I would never work when I needed you to. Why? Why are you like that? Why you gotta be like that? There we go. Now let's do it. All right, so if you want me to take a look at some altcoins, just throw them in the chat. I'll come back, look under this marker, and we'll take a look at them. Some altcoins might be looking kind of interesting right now. I want to spend some time over here on Total 3. And this is what we're looking at. Bitcoin dominance is still hanging in there strong and making a higher high from its previous neighboring candles anyway. She looked like she's trying to go back up. Oh my goodness. I like this song, but then it gets crazy. And the biggest thing I'm looking at is Total 3 over here. We should probably go to a separate chart. Today, SPX Standard & Poor's futures, you know what I mean, they're doing a nice bounce back. Now, I was kind of expecting maybe they would bounce back down. They may still. I'm not seeing the strength in the market that I need to see. Bitcoin's at a place where it might be trying to break out or maybe trying to fake us out. It's hard to tell right now, but there's definitely a resistance here on S&P 500. So tomorrow we should probably get a good feel if it's going to try to break up above there, or if we're going to start getting rejected and maybe have to come back and make some kind of bottom pattern like a W or something here. Meaning that, well, the next 2 weeks will be kind of, if that happens. So if we can get some nice bullish days that will hold, maybe things will be turning. But right now it kind of looks like they're going to set us up for, you know, a lot of. So coming into this next weekend will probably be. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. We come over to big old boring Bitcoin here, which is nothing but go basically sideways. You've been watching the smaller time frame. She's been over here just I think there was some news out today, whatever. Don't pay much attention to somebody's. People speak from the Fed and the market's got to do something, and market makers seem to be the ones that want to do something and all that. They like to do this kind of like little heartbeat pattern. Wipe people out, longs and shorts, and just go around and just carry on daily business before they take it to whichever direction that they're trying to take it to. But that happens a lot on these announcement days and things like that, if you haven't noticed. But other than that, not much is going on. She's just been boring AF. Now, Bitcoin dominance would just kind of come down a little bit while she's boring AF. Maybe altcoins could go up a little bit, but we're not seeing that happen so much right now. Instead, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to go up. That kind of sucks. And we've kind of seen Bitcoin, or Total 3, just kind of lose its ground again. Looking like she might even might even come down here a little bit. We might be losing a few more billion coming out of the coins while we try to figure something out. But we did get above there, this area. That's cool. So we got a higher high. It would have been great if we could have got above this one. But if we got above that one, we'd be saying, well, it'd be cooler if we got above this one. And that's all true. It's all true. But we can take just a little by little as we get it. We do have a higher high in that kind of counts. Still would be a lot better to get this one. But a higher low. We got a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. I'm telling you there's a chance. Nice little area to get rejected from right there. And this little area that we got marked. Jeez. I guess I could tighten up my game on this one. I'm going to put you over here, color you red. Or did I move you? Did I not do you right? So about 737 billion could be where we come down to, but she's trying to flag out here. Look, she's trying to make a double bottom. She's trying to do one of these. Maybe she will try. A lot of times they try, but then they come down here. I'm just saying. This would be a healthier move for us to come back down here, believe it or not. However, if we do confirm here and start breaking out, it will be a hellacious strong ass move. But the moving averages here say, nah, that's probably not going to happen. That 800, 600, and 360 down here with the 200 down here and saying, probably more than likely headed down a little bit. So I think that's what we got to look forward to for going into the weekend. If you want to know my personal opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Let's come back to the chat. Let's come and look at Bitcoin first. Let's try to do something. We're at 85, 500. No, we're not. We're at 85, 130, trying to go back up here. Now, this is cool. This is where we went the other day. Flags to the upside and all that's what everybody was calling. I remember distinctly. We came down. We got rejected there, but then we came up. We've been making little higher highs and higher lows on this little leg. Still, until we get past 86, you know, it's all for nothing. Listen, did you just try to bump up right now, Bitcoin, or did you just bump up on me right now? We're on the small 6-minute time frame here, and she looks okay. All the moving averages are starting to kind of get really close together, and we need them to spread out, preferably in the direction that they're going rather than crossing over. When they start crossing over, that's when it gets kind of hairy, and we have to start looking for more downside. So far, they're fairly healthy. There's some flip-flops in there, but the more price gets away from them, the more that they spread out and the healthier this move gets. And we need them to spread out, like I said, so that they won't twist. If they twist, we get a ribbon flip, and then we're on a downward trend. So we don't want any ribbon flippings, and that's where normal moving averages flip-flop. But that's even on this small time frame. Right now, it looks kind of nice and bullish, and maybe we'll come up and make a higher high than this. Wouldn't that be crazy? That we go to, as we get up to 86, maybe 86.3. This 86,000, that corresponds with the last high that we had over there. So we definitely need to try to come up and knock that little guy out. So that's kind of cool. Is that going to help our altcoins any? Are they going to do any good? Is that going to make life better for altcoins? Because altcoins have just been sucking. Man, they suck. They're not doing anything, or they're kind of going down and just giving up the ghost. They do not have the nice. This very same time frame here for Total 3 does not look the same as Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it could do something healthy. Altcoins look like they flipped. We have our ribbon flipping in here, bearish flip. This is what we don't want Bitcoin to do. And we've done that on the smaller time frames here for altcoins. So I am looking for a good chance that altcoins are getting ready to take another hit, unfortunately. Maybe there's some outliers out there, but gosh darn it, they're not showing up today, are they? Is this the song that goes crazy? What are you? Oh, you were at 23, now you're down. Okay. That was crazy. We got Crow at 8.5 cents, which is a pretty nice place to get some. The thing. Poor old Render. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's come back to the chat, say hello to everybody again, and let's get some of my coins here. Got 23 people hanging out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you don't mind so much, I hate to be the one that asks, so...
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
So he does it for me. That's cool. Let's start looking at some coins here. We got Floki's Angel saying 1,000 Floki. Ondo. I know a lot of people are looking in on that coin. But I've never liked the tokenomics on it. And I'm always suspect on, you know, the first person I remember talking a lot about it was BitBoy. He is not got the greatest record for making the best decisions in the world. But there was a lot on that, a lot from Mr. X, who he also, I guess, fell out with too. BitBoy's still in jail. I don't think he's out of jail yet. He's got a bot on Twitter that just keeps a tweeting and a tweeting, but I think he's still locked up. Now, that was impressive. Last cycle, he actually took $100,000, put it on perpetual futures, usually using around 30x leverage, which seemed like an abomination at the time. And he actually did during the actual bull run, when we were in that phase that we keep waiting for, that is not here, and Bitcoin made its run from what, about 20,000 on up to around 60. From those little spurts there, he turned $100,000 into $1 million. He did do that. The little gambler that he is, and from that came a lot of, you know, and that was impressive. Not many people can do that, and he did. That you can't take that away from him. But can you repeat it? He has not been able to repeat that or anything since then. So that is, you know, kind of, hey, that was the gamble. That was a great bet. But an awesome trader, person who always gets it all right, does not mean that's what they make. Does not make him that. And that's kind of the direction he started going in, man. Like, hey man, I got all the answers. I know this. I know things that you don't know. I'm not trying to pick on him, but I'm just trying to use that as an example. This happens every cycle. It's somebody different every cycle, but there's always those people that are doing that, and they're here to get your clicks and your attention and everything. And all they got to, what they say, just has to plant a seed in your head. That's all that has to happen. And then suddenly, oh wow, well maybe I'll buy some of that. I heard it from somewhere. Oh, it's a BitBoy or wherever. This is just the crypto's just a wild game. It's just a wild game. When you look back and see what's out there, and then how gullible that, you know, we are as retail, because I was looking at the YouTubers, seeing what they're doing. Well, they know what they're doing. Let's do what they're doing. Well, they said it was good, and you know, we put too much stuff into that. Don't put as much weight on that. From a YouTuber's point of view, they're trying to do what will go to their audience or get clicks. I mean, that's kind of where they're coming from. and talk about what's hot, because nobody wants to talk about what's not hot. It's always got to be what's hot, right? That's why I quit making coin videos. I mean, all I'm doing is sitting there talking about what's hot and what's pumping, and pretty soon, like, somebody's going to say, I bought in and it dumped, and I'm like, yeah, probably, yeah. Or my videos would say, yeah, it's getting ready probably to drop on you. Wasn't what they wanted to hear. I guess what I'm trying to say is, be careful about what you hear and how you let it affect you, who you watch, those kind of things. And I can't tell you where to draw the lines there or anything, but I can just tell you, you usually see a lot of people that get all up and they get everybody riled up and excited, and they're probably entertaining, and they'll get you emotionally attached, or they'll work on your emotions and get you in on something, put a word in your head, and suddenly it's there, and you're like, well, they did it, I want to do it. They know what they're talking about, when a lot of times they don't. We got Haven. I got on a tangent there. I'm just writing coins. SEI. Say. Let me make sure I didn't miss much over here on the chat. I think I got off on the conversation there. Just do what you do, and I will take notes. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Glittering Marshmallow. All right, and if you don't have your charts, if you're trying to learn how to do what I do, or learn TA and stuff, I know it looks, when you first see it, you're like, I don't know, no, but it's not that bad. And just hang around, ask questions and things. And if you like, I got the $3 a month thing here on YouTube with some videos, streams, and chart school, things like that. A little extra stuff going over it. I think it's very affordable. Just hang out and ask questions. But let's start looking at some of these coins. So altcoins are looking. Now, this is altcoins. Do I need all these? I don't really need these little red lines anymore. When we zoom out on altcoins, even here on the 4 hour, or we can zoom out to the daily, this is what they've done, right? And we are in a pattern that has a good chance to break out to the upside. It usually does. It's only that there's some things here showing me that this may not be the time for it to break out just yet. It's starting to show signs that we're getting rejected from here, if you can see this, and actually I would say that we have. And that kind of sucks for altcoins. So back in a few days ago, well, it was actually a few days ago, Saturday, Sunday, when altcoins, they got run up a little bit. I couldn't really tell that a lot of them ran up too much, but that was a great time to be taking profits. And dang, should I have taken more? I always feel like I never get enough when I do that. And now we probably get a nice little pullback down through here with most of our altcoins. So we may not find the greatest setups. We might be finding them trying to dump down, but we can find some areas to look for. Let's go with 1,000 Floki. And there also might be some shorts. We could probably look for some shorts. I just recommend trying to short a local top rather than trying to short support at the bottom, which, I mean, that's when most people want to, and when a lot of people start saying too short, but that's usually shorting the bottom, and it can go against you. So let's go with 1,000 Floki. I've always got that's going to be the perpetual futures. And who's got you? Let's see. Let's go with Binance. They should have good price history. I like a chart with some price history. I got to zoom out. Oh, you broke a line. All right, so there's just a couple of... oh, that sucks, Floki. Really? Well, I was about to say there's two things that we would look for when we break a major trend line like that. One would be a bear trap we can get back in, and then you can actually do something really nice and strong. The other is what it appears to be doing right now, is rejecting there. And I guess we can be conservative and wait for a little bit more confirmation for that, but it does appear that's what's happening. Let's come down to the 4 hour. So my question is, I guess this is kind of nice. You probably see this. You're seeing this same formation on a lot of coins right now. Bitcoin too. The little W bottom. So we came down, made our a W, flagged up above it, kind of cleared that area, and we're up and got a little M top. That seems to be what we're doing with those things. So I can see this all coming down, and this may come down to right at the 5 cent area. It's 5.5 cents right now. It's not that much for this to drop. But the question, what I'm wondering is, are we going to have to go through all that again? Are we going to do some other kind of bottom pattern over here to try to break into this, or is this going to take us lower? And man, I wish I had a great answer for that. And I'd love to say that I'm confident that, yeah, man, just hold on, we're going to break back in here and woohoo, we're going to the upside. But the way this market is and the way the world is right now, man, I mean, it could easily not happen there at all. So we'd have to take into account what this would normally do, and normally it's a bearish retest, and that sucks. So let's see what we can figure out here. So 1,000 perpetual futures. So if this is one we're playing, then it's probably a shorter term thing. So let's see what we got. So we're in a squeezing channel here. You get a 0.5. Yeah, you would be a 0.5 rejection. Yay. Couldn't get above the 0.5. This area once. Well, this is actually its test of it. That's an important area to get above, in my personal opinion. If you don't get above that 0.5, that can set you up. That's technically that puts us in the lower areas. That these are on the table for down here. It doesn't mean we have to go there. Double bottom. I mean, there's lots of signs saying that we don't have, but they're on the table now. We've got to start entertaining the idea that we could see 0.03, 0.02. And if you're in this market and you're a shorter, and I love to short, I just love it, love shorting, it'd probably got to be a boner to think that we can get 40% off of this little guy. But it is on the table. But for where we are now and what we've done since April the 8th in the last few days, so this would be a little bit more relative, I believe.
Let it grow. Ooh, I'm hooked on moons, you know. Come on, let's chase the moon. We trade all night, feel the market's tune. Stacking profits neath the sky so blue. I'm riding right through.
Look like you're going through an ABC correction right there, baby. Elliot, you got anything to suggest there? Elliot, think you can get another wave up. Elliot, you counting your waves weird again. What are you doing that for? He's taking artistic liberty there, but he has a more shoot. Actually, that looks pretty good on this time frame. Well, Elliot's been a little bit more bullish than I am. Personally, I see the possibility of us coming back down to these areas. Elliot's thinking, screw you, road dog, you don't know nothing. Even if I do, I'm going to bounce up and I'm going to take you to Valhalla. And thinking that we go to 6.2 all the way up to 6.7 cents. That we get up to our little target area at 6.6. What I'm looking at
Take my stack, we'll watch the green.
is that we lost a trend line and then we got a bearish retest of it, and we should come down, and I would just look for us to just slow burn our little asses right down here to this 100 moving average area and 0.5 Fibonacci area at 0.05.3. That's what I see, but Elliot sees some weird stuff. He sees something different. He's probably also, well, he's probably not, but there is this argument for this this bullish cross here, golden cross of the 50 over the 200. Yay, that's awesome. But you still got your other moving averages that we still got some strong momentum to the downside, is what I see. So I guess we're going to have to argue it out with Elliot Wave. Who wins here? Let's take a look at Ondo. This is on Bybit. Oh no! Here's your got to break out. Well, I put it to the very ends of our wicks there, so that I couldn't, you know. And even to our candle bodies here, we do, but it's a lackluster breakout. There is no volume behind this whatsoever. The price is going up, the volume's coming down. So this is this is how the market makers, they just tease you up. They just back up. They don't put as much pressure on selling down. They're just lightening up, making you chase. They're making you chase them like a cat. They make you come after it. When the volume's going, that's the best way that I can explain that. When you see decrease in volume and rising price, that's a divergence right there, and it shows weakness. It really does. And so Ondo, the deal with Ondo, your straight up analysis and whatever, is that we got to get above this guy about 95 cents, clear that, just to be hopeful that hey man, we're making a higher high, now we just meet a higher low, and now we're starting to trade to trend. That's what we need. If we can't do that, and this on any other assets, if this was as high as we go and we just start rolling over, well, we can make a lower low and have a lackluster breakout and say, oh my gosh. I don't like the lackluster breakouts. They suck. Well, we got a few tricks up our sleeve here. Oh man, you're within that too? Oh, you suck, man. So can you, we're on the daily right now, can you break up? Let's see what she looks like here. So Ondo, smaller time frames. They're trying. They are trying. And you're coming in right at it. I'm going to stick with this guy, 106. And, oh man. I like the 106 as a nice target. And I'm really looking at that, but there's these other two areas that if all we're trying to do is just make a higher high, and that's all we need to do. I would be happy with 99 cents at 103, either one of those two areas, but that 106, that could be on the table there. Did we put a... I don't see you going up here just quite yet. That would be, I think that's when the measure moved. Is that what happened up here? There may be a trade set up for the breakout here. I don't remember. I can't remember doing this. I must have. Where would... if it broke out, I don't know. This is old. Nothing ever came of this. We did a measurement. If it does get up there, that would be cool. That target looks out of the question at the moment. All right, Ondo, smaller term time frame. What do you look like? This one's actually has got a little bit of promise to it. I can still see us coming right back here to touch these guys though. 82 cents or something. That would suck though.
Yeah. Yeah. Crypto glow, let's go. Wake up,
Got a trend line, but does it have
dips in the rearview moons in my flight. Stacking them sats, yeah, I'm riding the wave. FOMO's my fuel, man, I'm digging my grave.
Trying to see if we got the right angles there.
Gas fees, bikes till I slay all day. Crypto's my hustle, I'm breaking the mold. Bull runs my stage, watch me glow so bold. Yeah, crypto glow, lighten up.
So Ondo looks like it's trying, but it does look like it can come down to like to maybe 80, 81, 82 right there in those areas. Just kind of retest that. Hopefully that would stick though. Let's pull our fib out. Yeah, and that would be about that 0.5, 382 area. 382 looks like nice. Let's see what kind of reaction we get right here. And if it can hold that, that could be a nice little move up, and then I could see us getting up around 106. So that's like it'd have to be like a little two-step move. But you know, if you don't like that, you can always do what everybody else does, and that's just put it into a flag to the upside. Woo! Actually, I don't even think I see them do some crazy. Oh, I bet I know how they would do something crazy like this. They've been doing things like this. To the upside. You pinch the tip and hope for the best. Let's try ACH. Whoa, look at you. What are you doing? Somebody got a boner. It went from 20 cents to 27. We can't be mad about that. Unless you're shorting it, then you'd be pissed as hell. But that's what you get when you short the bottom. Ha! Sucks to be you. That's pretty cool, man. Here on the bigger time frames, let's see. That's a 6 hour, 4 hour. Well, that's weird. I'm seeing these moving averages. It's crazy. You can be on this one here at the 6 hour, 800, 600, 300. They're in right order. You'd be here on the 4 hour, and it's 800, 600, 300 in the negative order. I found that interesting. Well, so how far will you go? Let's see if we can figure that out, ladies and gentlemen. Several different ways we can approach that little guy. So that 31 cent area looks kind of nice. Let's see if we got some confluence on this little guy. Yes, I'm Lowdy. I'm heading for you, darling, with a little bonus target right up above you there at 33 cents. Just in case things get a little ballsy. So for, let's see, we're on the 4 hours, so this is pretty much short term. These will be the pivot points that I see where she needs to take a break, chill out, chillax. And she will probably get rejected at these areas because that's what they do at pivot points, and come down a little bit. Wherefore could she be coming down to? I should have looked at that before I raced my fits, but if I just kind of guessed, just a little lower than where we are now. Somewhere about 2.5 cents. They're at 2.7 cents going to 3 cents. Doesn't sound like very much, does it? Oh, you're talking about fractions of a penny, or well, pennies on the dollar. 20% from where we are now. Let's go to a smaller time frame. ACH, man. Woo! Short term looks like she need to take a little breather herself. A lot of people, support and resistance people, will be looking to get in at 2.3 cents or 0.0233. Fib people will be looking somewhere around here. Oh, we already got a line? Sweet, I got confluence. I'm going with this guy. 2.4. And if there is something there, support there, enter into a position at that time if it presents itself. 28% gains possible just on spot. Not bad. So this one looks kind of interesting. What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? Oh, snap. That'd be cool. Holds that. That'd be really good. All right, let's take a look at, this was ACH, let's take a look at SEI. This one, this little guy here. When you thought that she was on discount at 30-something cents. And here's a fallen wedgie with a lackluster break. Well, actually, you had a little volume there. You did get a breakout, but man, did you suck. It sucks when that happens. That's not usually what we expect with the falling wedge. Not usually what we get with the falling wedge, but sometimes you do and it just sucks and you just gotta say, well, bleh. You suck, bro, dog. So, darling, what we got going on here? Where'd you get rejected? You suck.
Meme scams nabbed my stack, left me drifting free, lost my one true track. Bull run sail from me, yeah. When you lose your one and only. Ooh, island breeze heals the lonely. Yeah, yeah. Crypto island moon swaying soft and slow. Mind lights my road where the memories go.
I wouldn't get much more hopeful right now than the 382. That's about 36 cents and 27 cents are the two targets I'm looking at. We're sitting at 17, so that would be the hopium targets that I've got for anything short term right now. I think, as we kind of come up here to these areas, there'll be a rejection, and then hopefully it can break out and come up here. But I would expect it to get rejected there, and then from there, I mean, we could come all the way back. There's lots of things. So those are some good places to take profit, and that would, you can double up by there, or even moonbag, depending on where your strategy is. Moonbag for you spot people. That's when you take your collateral out, and then you can. You put $100 in, then when it gets up to a certain price and it's $200 worth, you take your $100 out and you got $100 worth of this token for free, roll it over. It's a good practice, but it's easy to forget to do. It's easy to forget where you put your and stay on top of all your moonbags and stuff, but it is a way, it's a nice little strategy to where you can just take your capital out, redeploy it. One of the best strategies out there, I believe. Dollar cost average is also a hell of a strategy. Some people used to look down on it. I used to look down on it. I'm like, dude, DCA, it solves a lot of the problems that you would face when you try to trade it. You will find that people who DCA, dollar cost average, and hold as investments, they do very well in this market. It's those of us who try to get in and trade it too much, or trade, the trading adds some extra risk that, we got like surprises where your ass is handed to you, like with OM coin, those kind of things. Of course, that could happen if you're holding it too, right? That was lucky fuck. I don't think you can go wrong with Bitcoin whatsoever. But we're here talking about SEI. This one, man, I mean, when was this? September and everything? Is that when? So she was up around $1 and everything. She was doing pretty good when everything was doing pretty good last year after all the fall there, and she came down to 28. And then what? We got up to 70. I remember seeing her around 38 a lot. 36, 38. Maybe it was when we came back through here. Was that in December? I was thinking 36 seems like a pretty good place to be in on this one. But now we're half of that. We're at 17 cents, 18 cents. Got all the way down to right at 13-14 cents there. So from where we are here, and I think it can do this one, I think that we'll be headed back up to that area about 27. I don't know that we will get past it. We probably will not get past it the first time, but if we do, then hey, and if we don't, then hey man, well, that's a pretty good come up. I'm on the 3-day chart right now. Let's go down to the hour where it looks really nasty. So on the hour, we got the same formation we found everywhere else that suggests that we could be coming down a little bit, just about a penny though, penny and a half maybe. Smaller time frames are trying to work on flipping some ribbons, and they're trying to get bullish. But on everything that I'm seeing here, maybe I'm seeing it looks like we're trying to maybe do a W pattern. So at best we can hope that we come down at some point and get a higher low. All the coins that we've been looking at pretty much been following Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's got this same kind of price structure to it too. But we're at an area of rejection, or depending on how you look at it, maybe we got a breakout. Well, if we do have a breakout and there's no volume there, then it would be a lackluster breakout, and we could just ride its leg on down. We looked at a coin just a few minutes ago that did that. And it sucks when that happens. This is a challenging time to go long. But there might be some shorts out there, I'm just saying. At these areas when we're on top, that's where you would want to think about looking at a short rather than when we start losing these areas, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, most people are looking at going short when we're at bottoms. They're like, well, we break this level, I'm going short, and they go short, and that can happen. It's the same thing as if you go long here, because that's where all the fake outs are. That's what led me to being more of a bottom feeder and going more with trend lines, rather than support resistance as much when I try to find an entry or get in. Because all the bots do support resistance too. They do it pretty good. And you're beneath this area right here. Support resistance flip when we're getting rejected. These are the areas, if you're looking to short, that you would be trying to do that, in my personal opinion. And it's hard. It's hard because this is the hardest place to short. It's like long in the bottom, and then I thought it was the bottom, then it wasn't quite. Maybe it was, but it still went down. You gotta have that conviction that you're in the right area to do what you're doing. And it's hard. Every time that I try to short the tops, it tries my patience. I'm sitting there, and like I was trying to short it, was it Friday, Bitcoin Friday, and we come down, but it's like molasses just dripping down the walls. Like, got stopped out a lot. Some of it was from adding to a trade, which lowered my entry, which meant that I had to have little things like that can mess up your trade, mess up your entry if you get a good entry. And I think it's really about trying to nail a good entry on some of these shorts until they start taking off, that is. But most people will be looking at like this level, and then M pattern, and maybe short the retest of that. That's kind of the common. That's the traditional way to do it, and you know, it's a lot of times what's traditional. That's what they like to target and mess with sometimes. But by the time that happens, you know, it may not even be that much of a great short to be had, you know. That's when we have to factor in our risk reward ratio and get the little calculator or that little thing out sometimes, is where that's helpful. To get this little guy out and tell you, is it going to be worth my time if I did something like that? Is it going to, what have I got? Is that a good trade to be in? And no, it's not. It's not. That's what this thing will tell you. If I gotta put my stop loss here, and I enter here, what if I did a really tight stop loss that I could get stopped out on? Risk reward ratio 1. 1 to 1. Nope, it's not. At least not on the spot there. So hopefully, I mean, it would be cool if we can hold this area, but I'm kind of doubting that if we do, it may do something kind of like this, and you know, we'll keep our eye on that. Altcoins are just not looking as happy-go-lucky as I would like to see them look right now. Glad I didn't spot buy any OEM. I wanted to a few times, and me too. I'm glad I wasn't going all hard and heavy trying to build that bag too much. But gosh darn it, I am disappointed because I had a lot of hope on that one. That was like one that was like, oh, man, this out of all the altcoins, this one's really holding up my altcoin bags. And that sucks. And not only that, I mean, you think you get into the good projects. I'm just going to bitch a little bit. But here's another one that I was in Rune. It was a great one last time, and then I think there was some other stuff going on. They tried to get into something, be something that they weren't. All this and that. That was a janky, and the high and spot, that is a janky looking chart, I gotta say. That's janky as F. But, you know, $3 to $7 in that range. Like, okay. I didn't think she'd come back and hang around, you know, under $1 again, like she did over here. And so the question is, will this one come back? Because just like with OEM, there's nothing wrong with the protocol. Nothing wrong with the protocol. And it still works and everything, but my gosh. Some of these places just make stupid decisions, or they just take liberties that they shouldn't take, and I don't know. But here we are, the Rune, trying to hope that it holds the $1.20 area. And it could still go down to 65 cents, believe it or not. It is on the table for 65 cents. Could happen, has not happened. She's been in this big old stiletto heel shoe. Is that a stiletto heel, or is that what is that, a loafer? It's been in this big loafer foot pattern here. It's been in this, technically, a falling wedgie. Or maybe depending on how you want to draw it. I would go with this fallen wedge or descending channel, which should be bullish. And I hope this is the bottom. I hope that 95 cents was the bottom on this one. I thought you got lower. Yeah, May 2023. You were down all juicy, and that's when I was really getting into you, Rune. Really getting into you. And now we're full circle, man. Altcoins went up. They did great. Rune hit up to $11 at one point. And it did good for me, and I did well with it, and then kept some. I kept a moon bag of it, which has dwindled down to hardly anything because I had the bright idea to put it on spot margin. I forgot where I did it. Actually, I still got about the same number. I guess token-wise, I'm doing okay. It's just the bag is just not worth anything anymore. It's at $1.15 now. So in retrospect, I gotta say one thing I am glad at the times that I did take profits on these things, the times that I did moonbag these things, the times that I did do, you know, go by the rules there. Because when they give up all the gains again, you're like, well, at least I got something out of it, right? Still would be better for Rune to be at $8, $9, $10 or $16. It was $16, I think, last cycle, right? She's at $1.15 now. You trying to do something, Rune? She's been on a little. It looks just like everything else. The little W bottom, and we're going up, and then could come down a little bit, right? Getting rejected off of some of these areas. But she's been, you know, it's kind of bullish for her to get past a 111 because she stayed around 111 forever, or it felt like that. But we're at the top of a channel area, depending on where you got it drawn, how you got it drawn. I guess if we went this way, we'd say, look, we got a breakout. About 111. We should be coming back and testing that breakout area if we do. And I think we will, Ring. And hopefully she doesn't just come down here to $1. I got a feeling we might be finding Rune at $1 next week. I don't know. I try not to go by the little vibes that I feel, but I just feel like the next 2 weeks are going to be really kind of shaky here in this market. But it doesn't matter what I feel like, it matters what's on the charts. But I can't say that I see a lot of stuff that's really bullish either, though, other than, you know, we got the nice strong momentum and we can get a little pump out of Bitcoin, you know, out of altcoins, but I don't know there's enough to get us to the higher high we need. And we may be rolling over now. We might actually be rolling over. There's a chance to be rolling over right here. At least a little bit. It's just I don't see the if anybody puts a thumbnail up, altcoin season's almost here, jump in. You need to unsubscribe and slap them. Just give them a big old slap. It's looking better that we're closer to the trend line or supply line or whatever you want to call it, but there's no breakout. An actual breakout, that would be something to keep your eye on. But it looks like she needs to come back, catch a little bit more support, and then try to do the breakout. And when would this be? Toward the end of April? So I was calling, the signs were showing me that this week in April, the second week in April, should be pretty decent for altcoins. We did get a bump up, but it wasn't fantastical. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more fantastical. And now what I'm getting is that the next 2 weeks could be... I hope I'm wrong. But I'm sitting here looking at my altcoin... some of my altcoin plays here, and I'm like, man, do you even have a chance? Jim says VIX found support at the 30. Where are you, VIX? I have the VIX on here. There you are, VIX. Oh, it is at 30. So the rule of the game is to acquire assets when VIX gets above 30, because that's when all the volatility is there and everybody's scared something's happening in the market, and that's a good time to buy. Doesn't happen a whole lot, but when it does, it's something to look at. Hopefully she'll come back down here to about 26, 27. So what we would not need is for it to catch here and bounce back up, because that would suck. It looks like it's trying to come down though. Well, if it does, then Bitcoin at least would benefit from it. Altcoins, well, altcoins are a little bit of a different animal right there. Take their time. But yeah, if we can lose that red line, that would be awesome. That would be nice. That would be helpful. It would even help our altcoins not to bleed as much, I believe. But that might be what could help SPX actually get a breakout or something. I don't see you breaking out though. I don't see necessarily anything that would make me think that we're going up for a higher high. If anything, we'd a fake out breakout where we just kind of Joe says, I could have sworn when I checked the channel it said 11:30, so I went live early. Oh, to push it. Oh, is that what happened? My bad. I don't know. I think we got 29 people. Hey, 29 people. Did I see it wrong? Maybe so. I don't remember. I didn't change it. I didn't have to go back in and correct it or anything. I have mistakenly done that before, but I didn't do it this time, so I don't know what it may be. Glittery Marshmallow says, I thought it showed 10:45. No, I went in. I was a little bit late doing it. My thumbnail. Sometimes I get caught up doing my thumbnails, and it was about 10:15 before I even rolled it out. Oh no, you're right, Joe. Nope, you're right. I'm looking at it right up here. Like, it says 11:30 right now. It does. Well, I'm wrong. If I hadn't looked at that, can I change that? Yeah, it does say that. My bad. I got no way to check. I'm an hour early. Maybe that's why the new people were coming. Well, that's kind of weird. All right, so CJ Straight Vaping says Bitcoin dominance still rising. Yeah, it is. And that's killing the altcoins. That is not good for altcoins for that to happen. Tis no bueno. But so here's our scenario. Either we're about to get rejected somewhere around here. I'd like to see what it does. Was 64.3? I've got a target up there though. Why are you there? I got lazy and didn't draw my fib line. So what we would hope for, but I didn't see it on total 3, but what I'd be hoping for is that we would get rejected up here and then we get a little, mini altcoin rally. But when I look at total 3, I'm not seeing that. Or total 2 or any of these guys. Well, whoa, what's here? What's happening here? This don't look too bad for total, but it's nothing that's going to last though. It'd just be like a little up, and so if that's true, where did you go? Oh man. If that's true, then that means it would just be coming back down and then popping back up. And what, we got a higher target? But eventually, this is the guy, right? And this is where historically our nice altcoin runs have come from, when we got rejected off that 72, 73% area. And that was September of 2019, and then also December of 2020, and that's when the run started on the altcoins. And so, and there's a part of me that's just kicks myself for saying, you're a dummy being in altcoins right now. And I gotta say, man, I feel that way with a lot of these altcoins. How they just, I mean, this is probably a good time to look at some of them as long as they don't make lower lows, but all they've done is that they went up and gave it back, went up and gave it back. They just oscillated. They oscillated. And that would be great if, for somebody who is, selling all out at the top and, rebuying at the bottom and selling all out at the top. But I have not perfected that. Taking little profits along the way, but it's just, wow. The OGs would tell you the time when to get into altcoins is that you would be looking for when Bitcoin dominance gets to a pivot point. And that's the OG strategy for when to enter when you're playing it against Bitcoin and playing the Bitcoin pairs. That was the setup. That's the strategy. But we don't look at Bitcoin pairs anymore, and we keep up with it with dollars. It makes it easier to get away from this idea. But still, if Bitcoin dominance does come up there, that would be one of the best places to be looking to get into your altcoins. And they may be higher by the dollar there, you know. Well, I got such a good deal right now. Or they may be cheaper than I don't know. Either way, but what it says that when we get rejected there, that's when the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin, and that's when it's going to be worthwhile. Right now, until then, Bitcoin just keeps outperforming altcoins. You're better off in Bitcoin. Sad. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I think I got all the coins that we looked at or that were requested, that I saw anyway. I'm going to go ahead and cut off, and been going about an hour 20 minutes, but we looked over 1000 Floki. We went over Ondo, ACH, Say, a few other coins there. Have we taken a look at Solana? Solana's been... How you doing, Solana? You're at 130, still hanging out there, I see. Come down and look at the 2 hour. Most things have just been blah. You trying to double top or something? We got our W, and then we got our little rise up. I hope I'm wrong, but it just looks like tomorrow and the next day are just going to be kind of bummer days. That's just kind of what I'm getting right here. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? 12 hour got the red dot on it. And well, that's not horrible. Solana, you got to break out. Maybe, yeah, kind of, sort of. Maybe we're coming back for that little retest in the area. Looks like about 120 could be hidden for Solana again. I know nobody wants to hear that right now, but I'm seeing us be a little shaky and a little down for the next day or two. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and then we got Wednesday. I would say maybe Thursdays when they like to try to get us excited again and get us a little bit bullish into the weekend. That's the game they like to play, it seems like. Hey, we'll come back and look at Bitcoin, which is slowly making her way back up to this 786 Fibonacci area. And the question is, will she make it a little bit higher? Can we get up to 86, 84? That's what I'm hoping for. I think we're just trying to ratchet our way a little bit at a time. And even here on this little 6-minute time frame, 800, 300, 600, they got some work to do. The other ones are looking pretty good. The other ones are looking pretty decent on the smaller time frame, so I think we can get up to 86. Hopefully, if we can get up to 88, 89, get our higher high end, I'll feel a lot better about the market in general. Until then, I kind of like everybody else is, what the hell is going on, man? I think I'm just getting sick of the no gain-itis. Just seeing those bags just bleh. And looking at this part in the cycle saying, hey man, it's like, when this November, how many months? How am I going to go from here to $10 million in 6 months? Where's that? How's that miracle going to happen? Maybe I'm just feeling the market, but I think a lot of you guys are feeling the same things too. Just feeling, we're tired. We're just freaking tired. Beaten down, chewed up altcoins, and Bitcoin just like, I don't know. Still, anywhere under $100,000 is a good price for Bitcoin, in my personal opinion. And trying to accumulate as much as you can, anywhere from here on down to 68,000. If we, I don't even know if we even see that, but if we do, these are the juicy buy zones for Bitcoin to be accumulating. Because I guarantee you, when we get back up $100,000, you'll be looking back at 85. So, man, I should have bought more Bitcoin there. My portfolio looks so much better if I had more Bitcoin. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll see ya tomorrow. We'll trade carefully, trade wisely. We'll try to keep up with this market. Keep my eyes open for any kind of altcoin setups, but I've just not seen that much of anything of great out there. And it does look like the altcoins might get a little pullback. Even if Bitcoin gets a little bit of an uptrend, them altcoins ain't feeling it just yet. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Let's go to the end screen. Sean? Sam says Solana is cursed. Striga says, I thought it was 11:32, just had me looking over at the screen. Yeah, that was my fault. I did. I typed it in wrong. I tried to change it here, but it didn't let me, so I guess we'll just keep it like it is. Says Portcoin is doing great. Turkey got a new blazer. That's just one I haven't worn in a while. Thank you guys for hanging out. Good night, Striga. Good night, John boy. Let's see if we can get this little doggy to wave there. Good night, everybody. Trade carefully.